Hey guys, welcome back. I have. You can introduce yourself,
Castiel.
Castiel. Do you
It's
know
a
what that
very,
is?
very weird angel radio.
Yeah. So that's not an angel radio. That's a phone.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is that how humans talk to one another?
Yeah. I'm a Sam Deadpool variant. I don't know if you know what that is, do you? You know variants?
I know a Sam.
A Sam, you know a
I
Sam?
know a
You know a
Sam.
Blade? Yeah.
I've heard of you.
I have vampires, you know. You might have heard of me, the Daywalker.
No, I very much appreciate your work fighting back the forces of vampires.
Like fighting the Empire from Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. You don't understand that reference, do you?
If Dean and Sam haven't shown me it,
No.
not yet.
What about the Pizza Man?
I'm very perplexed by that. Still do not understand why he felt the need to slap her ear. I didn't think she did anything wrong.
He loved her.
He did love her,
Yeah.
or so he says. Hmm. Humans are weird.
Spanky time. I broke so
I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty funny though.
that caught you off guard.
I was
That
not
caught you
expecting
so
that.
hard guard. All right. Well, since now the skit is here, now we can actually ask questions. All right. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi. I'm Chris. I'm one of the owners of this car, a baby replica that we bought about 2 years ago. That we now tour around the country randomly and show off at Comic Cons. So
I also should have clarified that. Yeah, we are in the baby. I
we
never said
are
that.
we are in baby.
Yeah. So, group question. You haven't really watched Supernatural, so this is a question for you. Then I'll do a group question. I think both of y'all can answer. You favorite Supernatural scene?
All right, so my absolute favorite supernatural scene, and it's because it is the very first one I ever saw, was the Pizza Man quote.
Yes.
And that was because before I'd ever seen the show, I walked in and my brother and sister used to watch it religiously. I'm a little bit older than them, so they would watch it just all the time, and I was like, I'm not interested in that. And I walked in, and it just so happened to be Castiel staring at a TV going, why does he spank her rear? Perhaps she has done something wrong. And I just looked at him and I went, what are you watching? And they went, oh, Supernatural. And that one scene has stuck with me.
You.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, you never forget your first. So.
Yeah, I think the scene that stuck with me, like, because, like, I didn't start, like, on season one. I started, like, towards, like, the middle of season one where Dean's like, Sam, Dad's on a hunting trip. We don't know where he's at.
Yeah, classic.
That's
classic.
everyone knows.
Absolutely classic.
So you've toured, you've been to a lot of cons. Have you met Jensen?
So I met Jensen at a creation con. We've never met him in the car, unfortunately. That's something that we're trying to work up to. We're trying to get this absolutely, completely show accurate. We've gotten pretty close. We're missing still a few things here or there. But I got to meet Jensen.
Do you have the toy soldier?
Oh, yeah. It's right back here. Our little toy soldier.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you have the Legos up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
We did get to meet him at a creation con. I met Misha Collins. I didn't meet Jared Padalecki. I had left before.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. Yeah,
I met those two. Obviously, anybody that signed the glove box or the trunk, I've met. Lucifer, Jody.
Oh, Lucifer, that's awesome.
Yeah, he actually, weirdly enough, so I know Mark Pellegrino gets like some hate online just because he's he's Mark Pellegrino. But one of the things I will say, though, is that he's very attached to his beloved dog, Frankie. And unfortunately, Frankie had passed, and it's a real soft spot for him. So it was really cool to actually see him open up in that way because, he's got like tattoos and stuff to commemorate his, long lost pet. And I'm like, oh, that's actually kind of sweet, But so far, everybody we've met from the cast has been absolutely phenomenal. I definitely recommend if you see them, like talk to them. Jody especially. most of y'all know her from she was the mom of Zach and Cody in The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Show.
She is a hoot. Like, oh my God, she was our neighbor for one of the cons, and literally just the funniest person I've ever been around.
That's awesome. Yeah, and today we actually have Emma. As you say, it's pronounced Emma Shallow, right?
Emily Swallow, yeah.
Emily Swallow, and how do you pronounce
Ruth Connell, yeah.
Yeah. So they're both here. We did
Yeah.
There was a photo op that me and him did.
Them too.
Them too. Me too. With her and baby, which is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
That's just my first time meeting the two supernatural cars and the baby. So
yeah,
it's like awesome. That's what.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
and
so
like I said, they're always, Emily was the first one we actually met because she was our first signature on our glove box, and she thought it was cool.
Speaking of which, Marcus, grab the phone, turn the camera, and show the glove box.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, magnetic. I just went spicy. I guess edited in, you know.
Edited in. Oh, you got it. Wait, does he have it?
There we go.
Strong. How do you turn your phone, Marcus?
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, there's the auto, so you know what we're talking about, and you have an image in mind.
All of the autographs. Now, specifically, and I will point this out too, technically this car is in my name. Technically, I purchased it. Mm-hmm. It's really and truly my wife's car, and that's
you
because
should tell the story about how you got the car.
Yeah, so what's funny is that whenever I first got I wanted a classic car, and I told my wife, I said, hey, look, I want a classic car, and she said, well, I want to pick it, and I went, okay. I'm thinking like Corvette, Mustang, some classic, and she goes, no, I want a 1967 Chevy Impala 4-door hardtop in black with a tan interior.
And I went, that's oddly specific.
That's exactly what I said. I went, that is really weirdly specific. What do you even, why? And she goes, you've never seen Supernatural. And I went, I've heard of it. I've never seen it. And she was like, you'll understand. So on our way to pick up this car, I saw my very first episode from start to finish on the way up to pick up the car. It was about a 6-hour drive. I think I got through 3 or 4 episodes. And I was like, okay, I kind of get it. And over the course of us making the magic, if you will, like actually making it into the car it is today, I watched more and more Supernatural, and we were talking about favorite episodes, for Scooby Natural and whatnot, but the episode from Baby's perspective was the one that really made it click for me, that the car is actually like most people think it. Yeah, exactly.
It's on its character. Did you hear that they're trying to do a spinoff with making it the car?
That would be amazing. That would be awesome. Amazing because people think it's it's Dean, Sam, and Cass, but it's actually Dean, Sam, Baby, and Cass. Like I mean, there's no Supernatural without Baby. It's just that's how it is. Like the boys are they're important. They save the world and all that stuff, but Baby's the one that gets them there. And like Sam, Dean can't let it go. Anytime it's been wrecked, it's been fixed. And
every time, like Bobby's always like,
yeah, he's like, dude, it's a piece of crap. Get rid of it. No, he has to have it. It's his car, Well, I guess technically it was John's car, and then it became his car. But still,
and I think that's also the connection there too, that because Dean's closer with his dad than Sam is, so it's like,
absolutely.
Dad's car. I want to keep it.
Dean went into the family business. Sam tried to avoid it for a long time. Yeah. I mean, it's just, it makes sense that he has that connection to, this car from that. But yeah.
Favorite Supernatural quote? Is it the Pizza Van one?
It's still got to be the Pizza Van one. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Like
mine's got to be, they ate my tailor and they killed my dog. I love that one with Crowley. Just the way he says it, his expressions, it's just awesome.
I also, speaking of Crowley, I have to say that one of my other ones is whenever Bobby makes a deal with Crowley.
Yeah.
And they're showing them together. Yes, that's exactly whatever he says. He's like,
why'd you
take a picture of it? And he's like, why'd you use tongue? And I'm like, holy crap, that was it right there. I was like, that's it. That is the scene right there.
That's perfect.
Sorry, my OCD is kicking in.
Yeah, no, it was gonna be. Oh my god.
So I have a question for you real quick.
Yeah.
Why haven't you seen Supernatural?
I watched.
I'm trying to get him into it.
I watched 1 or 2 episodes. I think.
Okay.
Was it the first one? It was with like the poltergeist lady, right?
Okay.
Like I think she was
the ghost lady with like the hitchhiking.
Yeah, the hit.
Yeah, that's
like,
the first.
She picks
that's
up, like,
the first ghost. Yeah.
Usually she like pops in somebody's car and then wrecks it.
And makes them cheat.
Oh yeah, makes them cheat and then kills them. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty good. And then was it the second one? I don't remember the second episode. I'll be honest with you.
So
I don't remember it, but
I will.
it's good. I just need to just dive deep in there.
So,
I haven't dived deep in there.
That was exactly what I was going to actually say about it, because it's like I'm not a guy who really watches a whole. Like, I actually watch a lot of TV, but I have to be boom hooked on it, or else I won't finish
I
it.
get that. That's
You
how
know?
it was. Like Supernatural and Dexter are probably like the two shows, like because they were really long. Where I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
Right.
Mhm.
So, for example, one of them that everybody's
I
seen,
never
that
finished The Walking Dead.
so I never finished The Walking Dead. I even really popular shows like Breaking Bad. I stopped at
I
the end of
finished Breaking
season
Bad.
4.
You
I
love
never
Breaking Bad.
never finished season 5. I'm gonna get there eventually, but I never finished it. Supernatural it's a little bit of a slow burn at times, but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
didn't
or a
notice
salt
that.
burn.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta kind of.
Sometimes it gets like just like damn, like just keeps going. Like, there's like that, like for this that.
for every, like, there's a lot of shows that, you know, they have really really good episodes and then like awful episodes. Okay, and
Yeah.
Supernatural is not immune to that. You know, there are some good and bad, but the whole package together makes it worth the journey. Like, it is a lot of legwork. I mean, it's 15 seasons, 23 episodes a season. They're about 45 minutes a piece. I mean, it is a commitment.
Yeah,
But you gotta at least get through the first 5 seasons. Okay.
First five.
Yeah.
I can do that.
That was the original show run, was first 5, and then it became so popular they just kept on adding it and adding it. So that way, whenever you get to season 11 or season 12, one of the two, I don't remember.
Which one is it? With what?
With the Darkness, Amara, Emily Swallow. So you actually like,
that's
you know,
season 12, isn't it?
I think it's season 12.
Yeah. So I got the season 13 complete season signed by the two of them.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. And then you also, like, the more you go on, that's whenever you meet Rowena, and you know.
And that was who we met.
Yeah.
And then that's God's sister that we also met. That's Armor and Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, that's kind of the fun thing too about all the cast members. A lot of them have done other things that, you know, you recognize them from. Like I said,
yeah,
Jodie
what was the character you recognized? I didn't know what you're talking about. You're like, she voices her. You're like, wow.
I forgot her name.
It was in Castlevania, right?
It was Castlevania. She was Dracula's wife. I didn't know
Emily
that was
Swallow.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
Hold on.
Whenever I first met her, that's actually the thing I got signed by her, was a picture of She also randomly, if you've ever seen the Secret Level stuff on, I forget what it's on, but she also was the Puck on the Pac-Man episode.
Oh my, wait.
Yeah.
Oh
I thought that was kind of crazy. Yeah.
Wait. Oh my god. Because I think was the first episode?
Now you got them hooked on something to talk about.
Man.
Yeah. See, I knew we'd get involved.
Because I felt like her voice acting is amazing in Castlevania. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
When I heard her voice, I'm like, yeah, you sound familiar, but I was like, maybe I'm just tripping.
No. Now,
and she said something I didn't even know this, because I asked her. Let me take this real quick, just so it picks it up.
Yeah.
I had no idea, because I was asking her how it was working Jensen, and then I mentioned Mandalorian. I was like, how was it working with Pedro? And she's like, actually, Pedro's not in the suit. She's like, it's his voice only. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was like, that's so cool. I did not know that. So I forgot the guy's name. I'm assuming if you look it up, you can find it. But she was like, yeah, he doesn't really get as much credit, but he's the one that we always interact with that's in the suit. Pedro's never in the suit. I'm like, I did not know that.
Yeah, I would imagine then that the only time they actually would have Pedro in any kind of costume would be if he's removing his helmet or getting his helmet removed.
Yeah, like Mandalorian Grogu, he does that a lot.
Exactly.
Have you seen the movie?
I haven't seen Mandalorian. It's on my. That's actually on my. On my watch list, as well as I think what's the other thing that came out recently?
I thought it was good. I think it got too much hate.
Backrooms.
Oh, the Backrooms. Yeah, that just came out. Yeah, that just came out. I've seen some
That's
people
what my wife wants to
I didn't meant to
see,
tell you that. It came out. I didn't know it came out already. It just came out. Backrooms.
Oh yeah.
And Spider-Man Noir started.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That actually just came out too. I've heard that that's phenomenal.
Yeah,
too. So
I want to see that.
That's like I said, I'm all about that. That seems like my cup of tea, you know, and especially
I don't know, and it's funny because Nick Cage was like, watch it in black and white. Don't watch it in color. Why would you watch it in color? That's actually exactly what
I heard too. Yeah. Why Spider Noir? Like, you gotta watch that.
He's trying to get people into watching black and white. He's like, pretty much the colors for like the, you know.
I mean, the whole thing is it's Spider-Man Noir. It's supposed to be like a detective black and white show.
He like pushed like the color for like, you know, for the kids that are not used to like the black and white stuff, and so they can watch the black and stuff. Once they finish the color, then we can watch the black and white version. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's really good.
Yeah, but I have two questions. Or one question, and we'll move to the next one. What made you love Supernatural? For me, it helped me through a lot of depression. Like that
Sure.
was my show. Like through like some really bad times. I'm like, so like that show like hooked. And I'm like, I watched it. I don't know how many times, like just rewatching constantly.
Yeah.
So what
So-
made you want to watch it? I know you said a little bit snippet about your wife and stuff.
Yeah. So my big thing, and actually, like the more I've thought about it, the more it's whenever I drive this car. So it is a
This is
functioning
awesome
car.
if you just drive us around. It's just
Yeah,
you must
and,
feel like you're
Like
always
yeah,
special.
whenever we are going places on the weekend, if it's really nice out, it will bring it out and we'll just drive around. And my favorite thing about that is that it does have a personalized license plate. It's Castiel. Okay.
That's what you're
And-
selling up there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is its actual license plate.
That's so cool. Wait, so is that special just for this model? The Castiel nameplate?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's this car's actual license plate. Its legal license plate is
awesome.
Castiel. And my favorite part about that is that whenever the show really clicked for me, so I'd been watching it for a little bit, but I went to, and this was actually after I had done a couple of cons and whatnot, but we were at an AutoZone picking up something for the car, because I mean, it is 59 years old and 59-year-old things break.
Yeah.
A guy came up to us and he's like, dude, I've asked everybody in the store, and he must have been like, around 40, 50, something like that. He's like, I've asked everybody in the store and they don't know who it belongs to. Is that your Impala in the parking lot? And I went, well, yeah, it is ours. And he immediately pulls down his shirt and he had the anti-possession.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. And everywhere we go, we have
you get
people
recognized a lot, I'm assuming. A lot.
all the time. And the craziest thing is that people from all walks of life were kind of drawn into the show. There's no like real demographic for it. I mean,
there's not nudity. There's some, it's not really gory either.
right.
So
it's one of those shows that like, maybe not like really, really young, but like from like, I don't know, like young teenagers all the way up to, I don't know, I've had a 70-year-old
I'll
lady.
probably get you in here a little bit more. You're like half like that kid in a way.
I was gonna say you can
Scoot
scoot
in.
in, man. It's a 6-foot long seat, But yeah, I mean, like I've had a 7-year-old lady come up to me and she just like stared at me in the eye, and I was like, oh, what is this? We were at a con and she just slowly lifted up her pants leg, and I went, oh my god, where are we going with this? And she had the anti-possession on her calf, and I just went, all right, that went in a way different direction than I thought it was.
She didn't even
Thank
say
God.
anything to you.
Did not say a word, just did that. And then she kind of just like looked at me, did this, winked, and then walked away. And I went,
what the fuck just happened?
I am so confused. But that's whenever I was like, holy shit, this show really does hit every demographic. I mean, that was just some random old lady who walked up to me and did that. And I went, okay, this, you know what? Yeah, I think I could get behind this. And then that's whenever I really dove into the show, and it's just been kind of, I don't know, ever since.
Stuck around.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite? Who's your favorite character? I know it's probably Castiel, right?
Castiel is up there.
Your second character then.
So me personally, okay, it's kind of a little more niche, but Benny. I love Benny.
Benny's a good one.
And
That's a
mostly
really
because,
unique
like,
one.
so
That's a really unique one. I actually like that a lot because Benny doesn't get that much love. I love this guy. I feel like he got killed off way too fast.
right.
I love-
and my
yeah.
favorite thing about it too is that
And his death was so emotional too
right,
because he got framed. It wasn't him.
right.
Yeah.
So part of the reason too why I love Benny is because I'm from Louisiana. I was born and raised. Okay,
Mhm.
and whenever he talks, I'm like, oh my god, dude, that's where I'm from, right there, And just his character. Like, I don't know. There's just something about him where it's like that kind of misunderstood. As you said, he got framed. I mean,
Yeah. And I hated his death. Like, it was really, I'm like, damn, dude. I liked his
Right.
character, too. And I love the bond that he had with Dean, too.
That's
'Cause
exactly it, too.
Time works diffently. Where were they? What was that realm called? You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where the Leviathans come from. I forgot what the area's called. It's not the
Purgatory.
Void. Oh, Purgatory,
Yeah.
yeah. Because time works differently there. So Dean and him were spending a lot of time together. So,
Right.
like, we live from the scene, we just know, like, oh, he wasn't that much. No, they were together for a shit ton of our time.
I think, too, it was one of the first times, too, that Dean kind of partially realized, too, that, necessarily not all monsters
are
were
bad.
Exactly.
And that's what Sam kept trying to convince Dean.
Exactly.
And
So
Dean
him
never
actually
understood it.
getting,
To actually
kind of
understand
forming
it.
that bond with Benny made that happen. It's it was just one of those characters that I was like, all right, I can get
Yeah.
behind that, And then honorable mention. This is gonna be kind of weird too, but
You say it. I think I know who you're gonna say. You're gonna say it. Say it.
Garth is
Oh,
like,
they're gonna say Jack. I love Jack.
Jack is awesome. I do love Jack, but Garth was one of those ones too. Mostly because
Garth is a good one too.
like canonically, he was a dentist. I'm a
Yeah.
dentist. Like I said, I just I got behind that. Plus, he's one of those goofy guys that seems to make it work, even though he's goofy.
Yeah.
Plus, I did meet DJ Qualls before, and he's a super cool dude. So
Yeah, I love this. Dude,
nice.
Like,
Nice.
nice. It's like, what, is it Sonic that says that? Nice.
So that's why, like, when the next time I see you guys, I'm gonna ask you who your favorite character is, and you better have one, okay? So
I probably will. I'm already like a season 5 already,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, it's a time commitment, but like I said, we're
Yeah, it's
right
gotta
through
dive
it,
deep in
kinda,
there.
yeah,
Once
exactly.
I in there, is episode
Oh,
after this.
Once you get through, now I will say this, and I told you that season 7 was my least favorite season.
Yeah.
That being said, there is not really like what I would
wouldn't say
consider
it was like a bad season. I feel like every season has its
that.
moments.
I always found that one was just kind of goofy. If that
With
makes
the
any sense.
Leviathan and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I
I
didn't like the mouth thing. That was just stupid.
Okay,
to
so
me.
that's
looked
why
so
I thought
stupid.
it was goofy. It was
looked so stupid.
It was one of those things where you're like, all right, that's.
And I was also kind of pissed during the season because we didn't really know towards the end. I thought Cass was dead. I'm like, fuck, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. I thought Cass was dead.
So allegedly, he was supposed to be written off of the show at that point.
But his character was too loved for them to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they turned around and we're like, oh well, we got to bring it back.
Yeah.
But then again, as we all have seen in Supernatural, except for you here, characters. Well,
If
how
they
about
die,
this?
they're not really dead. They always come back somehow.
Death isn't necessarily permanent.
Death is just a word.
Yeah, it's just a frame of mind sometimes in that show. But it makes it interesting because even whenever you're like, oh my god, that happened, then you're like, oh. And I will say to the showrunners' credits, for the most part, they make it make sense too within the universe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times where some shows are just like, we're gonna bring this back because,
and not explain it. And just
yeah,
be like,
or it's some just like, we're
like
just
Dexter, for example. Have you seen Dexter at all?
I have seen Dexter.
So you've seen Resurrection.
I haven't seen Resurrection.
Okay.
I've seen all the way up to.
So you know that we're continuing the story. Like I'm
Right.
like, how did Dexter survive the end of New Blood? Like it's
Right.
still canon. They're like, what they said was that, and I think it's stupid. They were like, yeah, he survived because the cold. It closed up his wound in his heart. I'm like, he got shot with a sniper through the heart.
His blood wasn't pumping or something?
Like,
right, yeah.
like,
right, yeah.
and then that's what they said. They're like, yeah, so the cold froze his blood over him. Like, but he got shot with a sniper point blank through the heart.
Right.
He would have died.
And I mean, even going back to the original run of Dexter.
Yeah.
The last episode where he's just like, you know what? I'm just going to leave. That was it. I'm just going to go to, I don't know, what was it, the woods and be a lumberjack?
Oh, and yeah, when he went, like, he crashed the boat when he had Deborah, right?
Yeah, and I'm just like...
Yeah, they don't, I don't think they know how to end Dexter yet.
Because
they have attempted it 2 times and have been awful
really
both times.
Because I remember that was one of the few season finales that I actually watched, and I was actually mad that I watched it. I went...
No, same. That I'm like, it pissed me off. So I'm like, what are we doing here? And
right.
then Dexter just, like, with, like, cameras everywhere, just, like, fuck it, and then stabs him in the face with a pencil. And I forgot what the name of the guy is that's with Batista, and he's like, looks like self-defense to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, he just murdered the dude, like, brutally, by the way, and you're just like, self-defense.
Yeah, it's
like self-defense for a guy that's handcuffed into a police room. What do you mean?
Like, yeah, this happens all the time.
But I get it because he also loved Deborah, and I feel like they also both loved Dexter, and they didn't know Dexter was the Bay Harbor Butcher at the time, or at least, no, Quinn, that's his name. Quinn knew.
Yeah.
Just didn't ever say it to anybody.
But, and I don't know, I guess it's one of those things where I'm like, you can end the show, and you can end the show very, very well.
Yeah, like, for example, you've seen the whole Breaking Bad, so you would say that the show start to finish good.
Start to finish. And it's what every show needs to be. Start to finish. They even tried the little thing where they showed something at the end, at the beginning of in the first episode. Like, they showed the ending in the first episode, and then somehow they paid it all off. Like, that's amazing. I'm like, usually that goes bad. I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah, especially for like beloved shows and characters and whatnot. So
I also hope we're not taking too much of your time up.
Oh no.
Okay.
Once my wife kicks us out, then that's whenever we know. But she hasn't done it yet. So one of my favorite season finales of all time is a show called Scrubs. Okay?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And it's not whenever they decided to reboot it with that med school crap. because that I don't even count that as whatever. That's not actual Scrubs. But the last episode where JD is walking out of the hospital and they're showing kind of some of his memories on the wall as he's walking out for the last time. That was to me like one of just the absolute best endings you could ever have. It was very concise. It kind of put a bow on everything. I know they've rebooted it since then, and I haven't caught the reboot just yet. But to me, that was like one of those things where I'm like, wow, I don't have any complaints about this. This was
Yeah, and there's only a few shows that can do that.
right.
Because a lot of shit, like for example, like current times right now, The Boys finale. And all three of us have seen that.
Yeah.
These shows.
Or Stranger Things. I don't know if have you seen Stranger Things?
I haven't finished the
that
last season.
That was also not great.
It made me too mad going into it, and I was just like, I'm kind of done with this too. Right? I told you, I can't. It has to really hook me. I
love The Boys.
Stranger Things too.
Yeah, but like with The Boys though, love The Boys. I felt like season 4, like you were saying, like you were explaining, like how like every season felt like it was building up with something bigger and bigger and bigger. And season 4 felt like, oh shit, big build up here. And they did like the whole virus, and then Gen V, and then Gen V doesn't even play a point. So season 2 of Gen V was pointless. And then the virus doesn't even really ever be used besides to kill the one guy that's like the dude that can fly up with the cat girl, and then kills the rock guy. That's all it did. And then like confirmed that the original V doesn't have an effect on people. So like it showed that like Soldier Boy actually isn't infected because he's an original V.
And that's why,
and then Homelander getting the V2, I didn't feel like it made a difference. Like the original V didn't feel like it made him stronger. It's just like it felt like the audience knew, like, okay, we know the virus can't hurt him. We also know he's immortal, but he didn't feel like a threat though.
Well, that was exactly
feel like anything else than he already was.
I really felt like that show should have had, because they kept on saying, "Oh my God, scorched earth," and I really wanted Homelander to just kind of go.
Like I was talking about the found footage. Like there was like I don't know if any of y'all have seen it, but there's a found footage thing on YouTube. I would check it out after you watch this. Check it out. It's a found footage type thing, and it's Homelander. Just like it's like they filmed like in like red and black, so it's like it's just Homelander standing over cities, like his eyes red and just lasering down buildings and just killing crowds of people, and just like pretty much showing like doesn't give a fuck. He knows that he's God and he cannot be stopped.
And I guess like that's what I felt like they were.
I wanted him to feel threatened. Like this shit needs to be dealt with. Like when he got the V. Like, I was yelling at the TV. I watched it with you. You heard me. I was like, oh, shit, he's got it. Yeah, my God. And then Butcher looked terrified.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, my God, what's going to happen? It's like, is he going to go ape shit now? No. He just wanted to promote him being God on Easter.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
It really felt like that whole V1 thing almost was...
It had so much potential.
It kind of felt like it was just like, oh, we have to make him scarier without actually making him do anything to make him scarier.
I'm like, he's already terrifying, though.
Well, and that's what part of made Homelander great as a character is that he would just do shit and you're like, oh my God.
Why? You know? And he also has some crazy, funny ass quotes. Like when he threw the guy into space, he's like, well, he's an astronaut. Put him in space.
But that was the kind of stuff I wanted to see him do, because at that point, I mean, whenever he killed somebody basically in a crowd of people and they
remember like when he when was it when he had what I would have liked the finale to be is that one scene when he's up there with is it Newman, right, that can make the heads pop.
Yes.
And he's like, he visions just lasering through that whole crowd and just killing everybody. I wanted something like that with the finale, and we didn't get that.
Exactly.
I thought he was going to kill everybody in that room when the Flight 180 got revealed. Like, I thought he was going to kill everybody, and then, no, Sister Sage was like, Sister Sage went, no.
Yeah, and
I have something planned.
I guess it was another
thing. And
it
was like,
too.
No, it's AI. And then they did like a fucking TikTok trend where it's like, oh, laser, you got there. They're just dancing to it. I'm like, what the fuck?
And I think that was also the thing that also just made season 5 kind of feel a little slight, I guess. And that was, Sister Sage has this big old grand plan. She knows how to work all the angles. And I'm like, all right, cool.
And then
I want
she
to hear
just
this.
wants to kill the whole world.
Yeah, she's just like, I just want to be in a bunker so I can read.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I was like, wait.
And then she's not dumb. Why, when she became the V, she was just like, I'm gonna act super stupid now. And I'm like, you're not dumb, right?
Right.
Like, am I the only one who got like annoyed by that? Because I'm like, she was like just saying stupid stuff.
She read the books and everything. Like, you have super intelligence, but it doesn't mean you're like you can still retain the knowledge, right? Am I
Right.
crazy?
It felt
No.
like she took the V out and it's like, oh, I'm dumb now.
Yep.
I'm
No,
super stupid.
took
I don't know
took
anything.
the V and the IQ right out.
Yeah, it's like, wait, yo, guys, let's just stop this whole war. Let's go to Harry Potter World in Orlando. And I'm like, what the fuck
Yeah,
are we doing?
whenever that. By the way, Harry Potter World in Orlando is really awesome.
It is,
Never
yeah,
been, okay?
it's great.
But that was another thing that I was. Whenever she's like, "Oh, I wasn't counting on Soldier Boy just giving him that whole thing too was kind of
Yeah, because like her whole like she was like debated like, oh, love is unpredictable and yada 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 yada.
You have
I'm
all
like-
this intelligence, but no
I'm like, you
emotional
had
intelligence?
to
Right.
know that,
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
had to know that Soldier Boy was eventually like coming close. I mean, she knew that though when what's her name Redmined him and was like, yeah, he actually is kind of like Soldier Boy as his son.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should have known that this was gonna be an outcome, or at least planned for every single outcome that would have happened.
Or that there was at least a possibility of that.
Yeah, no, she was just like, oh, it's gonna work
I
out.
think she understood that.
Hey, wait,
in
what's
season 4, right?
Stormfront's name? What's her name again? I forgot her name.
Oh,
I
was
don't
it
know.
Clara?
Clara. Yeah, it's like it's what Clara would have wanted.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, whenever that
brother.
happened, I literally went, "Is this for real?"
He's like, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for her.
And I mean, I know that they're doing that for like Vought Rising or
And
whatever.
we're gonna
to
see
kinda, like,
more of
build
that
up.
bond. And I saw somebody said this online, and I'm like, that's not a bad theory. People are like, because like you're like, yeah, you know how he said he wants to head down south. What if Vault Rising, like, yeah, it's a prequel, but then middle way through the season, like they make it canon, and then also leads up to Boys Mexico, and he's in Mexico, and they're trying to stop him, or he's the villain or the protagonist of that.
Right.
And I'm like, sure, but I'm like, I feel like I love Jensen. I love him as Soldier Boy. I loved it. But I feel like they really just sidelined a lot of characters and were just trying to promote Vault Rising, which is like the whole thing that they're making fun of. It feels like they're becoming what they were making fun of.
It felt like season 5 was a backdoor pilot for a couple of shows that haven't come out yet, and basically the finale too for a show that should have gotten more time in Gen V. And
Gen V season 2, I really liked it. Did you watch Gen V season 2?
Yeah.
I like season 2. He got me to watch it. Originally, I wasn't even going to watch it, but then he told me about it, and I'm like, okay, and I watched it. I'm like, actually, it's actually pretty good. And it made me excited, because I'm like, I wonder what they're going to do. And it's like we all know, nothing happened with them. Besides, they showed up for like a couple minutes.
And that was the other thing too. I was like, okay, cool.
And then Newman was being set, or not Newman, what's her name? The one that controlled blood.
Oh, Marie.
They were like saying on Marie to be like this really like helpful character, like that can take down Homelander, and it's like, no,
never mind.
Let's actually not do that.
Just drive off.
Let's make Starlight actually be like, you know how like we made you like almost get killed and your whole like entire college try to kill you, and you know how Vault's after you. You know how we did all of that. I'm sorry, but I don't need you. I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I put you in danger, and I'm like, you're putting her in more danger by separating her from you.
Right, and then they were just like, season 5, they're like, hey, here you go, just drive this truck away to these people.
And then they showed up for like a little bit when talking to Starlight and MM.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what are we? Why?
Me and my wife literally looked at each other and we went, really? That's it?
That's what I did. I was like, that's it. And then we showed up again. I'm like, yeah, we're getting more of them. Like, oh, like, we're actually gonna do something. And I'm like, no, they're driving away in a truck. I'm like, oh, okay.
This was their finale.
And then the girl that can become bigger and smaller. I'm like, she had a whole like redesign, like her like hair. And I'm like, okay, why are we not doing stuff with them? Like,
just, I don't know. Some people hypothesized that they already had known that everything was like either on its way out or going to be canceled or whatever. So they wanted to give them like a little send off, but with the possibility.
So they figured that Gen V wasn't getting enough views.
I'm not entirely sure what it was.
I feel like season feet. Oh my god, season feet. I feel like season 2 was better than season 1 though.
Right.
I liked it more. I'm like, did it not get good views or like?
No, but it's like at the same time the trash season 3 for Vault Rising.
I love her talking about the boys, which is literally directed by the guy who did Supernatural.
Right,
it's so meta.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
So meta.
I was like, how did we get here? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's so meta.
The world revolves around Jensen Ackles in some weird way. It leads to that.
Did you see him without the beard? It looks so funny. I love him, but my god, it looks so funny. It does. He does.
So whenever I met him,
and I'm so used to seeing him like without facial hair, and then when I saw the boys, like I'm so like used to it now.
Right.
I'm like,
so
what the hell?
Whenever me and my wife met him, we actually did like the.
Was he shaved? Like his beard?
Yeah, he was clean shaven.
Oh shit!
And it was kind of funny. It was like just super casual. My wife wanted to take a picture with him, and I was like, "Well, can I take a picture with y'all?" And she was like, if you want. And I went, okay, I'm actually.
It's like that photo. Have you seen that photo online with Lobo? Or no, not Lobo. Jason Momoa, where she's with the boyfriend and then pushing him away with the girl.
So we actually did something similar to that, except it was the jealous girlfriend meme where the guy's walking, he looks behind, he's just going at the other girl.
I know what you're talking about.
So I was the girl walking by. My wife was the the doing the look over, and Jensen was going at her. So
I love
we actually
that.
did get that, and it was. I was like, okay. I was like, Emily,
that.
you actually made me the kind of the highlight of that. Why? You were. She was like, I got the whole Jensen Ackles hand. It was fine. I was like, oh, okay. There it is. It is.
She had a big brain set.
I was just like, all right.
You were like, I feel special. And you're like, don't. It was because I got to hold his hand.
Right. I was just like, all right, you got me.
I was like, damn.
I wasn't even mad at it. I was like, that was a pretty clever way. And whenever we described what we wanted to him, he was just like, all right, yeah. And we were like,
it's a dream of mine to meet Jensen. I really want to meet him. He's not at a lot of cons in this area, is he?
No, he typically travels with Creation Con. That's like the Supernatural specific one.
Yeah, I know there's one that was like, I think it was like 3 or 2 hours away from here. I know I'm going to one. Me and him are going to one in Roanoke. That has the actor who plays MM and
very cool,
and Adrian's gonna be there.
Oh, very, very cool. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Oh man.
Yeah. Marvel, you like Marvel?
Oh yeah.
So Spider-Man? Oh, you said Spider-Man was your man, right?
No, Spider-Man is my man.
So what do you think about your Spider-Man?
So I'm actually pretty excited. Most things Spider-Man, I feel like they've done very, very well. Like even the whole build-up in the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, where like they kind of had the whole multiverse get together. That I thought was like really well done, because I grew up watching Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Yeah.
Did you watch the animated series too?
Oh yeah.
Animated series, yeah.
My dad growing up, his favorite superhero was Spider-Man. He had like most of the comics. I mean, it was just always kind of there. I've played the games. I've watched the shows. So
you played the Insomniac games?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was part of the reason I bought it.
He's a big Spider-Man fan too. That's the reason you got it too, isn't it?
And funny, you're talking about that. At the last con I was at, I got to meet the guy who mocapped and voiced Miles Morales in the Spider-Man games.
That's fucking cool.
Oh man.
That's fire.
Yeah. He was a cool dude too. He was like.
That's so cool.
So for anybody who's never been to a con, a lot of these guys, this is kind of like their livelihood whenever they're not.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, this is what they're doing.
This is what they do.
This is how they make some money and stuff. Yeah.
Right. Because as an actor, voice actor, whatever, you're kind of going in between bits.
Yeah, and then especially if it's like an older actor, like my perfect comparison here is like, I'm about to go meet Part 5's Jason. Yeah. He's like 70, and I'm like, this is how he's making money now.
Absolutely.
He's not acting anymore. He's retired. This is how he makes money now on the side and stuff.
So,
and I don't think a lot of people understand this too. Because some people are like, oh my god, like first time I went to go see like Hayden Christian. And they're like, dude, why? Oh my god, why is he charging $200? I'm like, they're not the one. They don't make the prices. It's the convention that make the prices for.
It's the convention. It's based on
the popularity.
Yeah, too, I was going to say that Hayden Christensen was actually one of the ones we went to as well. And, I've met like a lot of the. I usually try and go for some of the smaller guys, like most of the cast of Futurama. It's one of my favorite shows.
Oh yeah, I met the Fry.
I've met Billy West. I've met Joe DiMaggio, who played Bender, and we got to meet Hermes Conrad as well. And like I said, they're all great, and mostly because whenever they are kind of out of work or not doing something, this is kind of what they do. And a lot of them, I'm not going to say it's the same way for everybody, so you got to be kind of careful with that, but most of them are genuinely excited to meet people.
Yeah.
And the main reason being is
I've never had a bad interaction with a celebrity. The only one I really had a bad interaction was the actor who plays RoboCop. That was the only one. Yeah. Wow, he was kind of rude.
That's actually a little disappointing.
Because I wanted to interview him. And oh my god, there's a bullseye. Sorry, that's so cool. I got the interview. I wanted to ask if I could interview him, and like I asked the person that was doing it, and it was like no. And then my ex at the time, she asked again. She didn't hear me ask, and she was like, "Hey, is it okay if him and his friend interview you?" And he was like, "Yeah, if you want to pay me $500 an hour." And then I was asking him some questions. So I just wanted to get to know him and stuff. And he was like, "Sounds like you're trying to interview me." He's like, "All these questions you're asking me are in my book. You can get my book and get your questions answered there."
That
And I'm like, okay, you're kind of being a dick for no reason. And then I don't know if you ever met Derek Muse. He plays Jason in 2009 remake. Sweetest fucking dude ever. nicest guy. Like he literally took time out of my day because I was talking about like how like I was going through stuff and like he was my hero, and he literally took time out of his day, like probably like 30 minutes, and like talked to me and gave me some life advice and stuff, and like actually took a one-on-one with me. And he even said that he's like he was talking about RoboCop because I was mentioning it. And he's like he's kind of an asshole. He thinks he's better than everybody. He thinks he's higher up and fans are lower than him.
So, and that's the one thing you kind of got to watch out for. So, like the very first, and I didn't personally get to meet him, but my brother is a Marine, or at least he was in the Marine Corps. He's no longer in it. He was returning from a drill meet, and on his way through an airport going through New Orleans, Danny Trejo, who a lot of people know as like Machete. It's probably like one of his most famous roles.
And he also has. I've actually tried his tacos. Like he has like a taco shop.
I've heard they're actually like
they're really
good.
They're really good.
I mean,
they're really good.
Dude probably knows how to throw down on a
Yeah, it's good.
Grill.
It's good.
But one of the things is he came up to my brother and was just like, "Hey man, because my brother was in uniform and whatnot." He just goes, "Hey man, I just can I shake your hand? I'm just thank you for your service and whatnot." And my brother was kind of like, oh my god, this is Danny
I'm being shaken by Danny Trejo. That's fucking awesome.
What was cool about it though is that my dad was the one that was like, dude, go and get a picture with him,
it's Danny Trejo.
Yeah, and so my brother was like, I don't really want to bother him. So my dad went up to him and asked him. He was like, hey, do you mind taking a picture with me and my son? And Danny Trejo was like, absolutely, and that was my first
Danny Trejo. I've seen a lot of stuff with him, and I love his stuff. He seems like a really nice, down to earth guy.
Exactly,
and that's what I like about celebrities. And like back to Derek Muse, he said something. Where I'm like, a lot of celebrities should have that mindset because he's like, I try to give all the fans like a one-on-one because he's like, fans without the fans, we're not who we are. He's like, the fans is what makes us. And he's like, and I want to treat them all and feel like they're all accepted and they have my divided attention.
I was gonna say most celebrities, especially in the con scene, do feel that way. Or at least the ones I've interacted with.
Same here. I've never had a bad interaction besides RoboCop. That was it.
Right.
Like one of my friends said he had a bad interaction with Alex Vincent, who plays Andy Barclay from Chucky. I actually met him at a con. Sweetest, funniest dude ever. Like I gotta get a photo up with him. I'm like, can you hold the Chucky? She's like, I had a Chucky shoe and I just wanted him to hold it like this, like a holy thing. And he was like, he started laughing. He's like, absolutely.
And so, and that's the other thing too. Like these are people that do have their own personal lives and stuff too.
And then maybe he called him on a bad day.
Exactly. So like whenever I met Joe DiMaggio, he is exactly how you'd imagine somebody who voiced Bender or Jake the Dog would be like. He's kind of that dude in real life, and he's not 100% obviously because he's not an alcoholic robot, but or a dog.
And then had a baby with the vending machine.
Right. But he is he's kind of that snarky. Kind of like some people would probably find him rude, but to me that was just on brand with him. And I was just like, all right. And he had just gotten some great news, and man, he was like hooting and hollering and whatnot whenever I went up and met him, and I thought, okay, that's cool. Billy West, whenever I met him, he was just like, hey man, he had a long line for him, and he actually stopped and talked to me and my wife for it felt like 5 minutes at least. He didn't have to do that. We paid for a picture and I was actually dressed as Fry for that.
Where'd you meet them at? Where was that at?
That was at
because I met Fry, the voice actor. It was last year's Big Lick.
Yeah,
it was like it's around here. It's not far.
Yeah, we met him at a New Orleans Comic Con.
Oh, that's not bad.
Both of them. Yeah, I think one of them was it used to be Wizard World. Now it's like Fan Expo or something like
Where's
that.
Where's the farthest that you have tried with? Oh my God, what's the farthest that you have traveled with Baby?
So with Baby, like driving it physically was back home from where we bought her from, which was Georgia. It was about an 8-hour drive. Saying
some like if it's like what do you say like 2 or 3 hours?
2 hour.
You get it towed.
We usually have like a circle that we try and keep it in, just because I mean these cars, not that they're expensive to maintain, but shit breaks. You know,
especially like older model cars and stuff.
Yeah, like I said, 59-year-old shit breaks. You become 59, your knees don't work the same way. That kind of thing. Cars are the same way. Most of them don't live to be 59, so the fact that this one, you kind of gotta, you gotta kind of kick it along sometimes. And the furthest we've driven it is 8 hours by itself, just because whenever we picked it up, we did drive it 8 hours back home. But as far as my furthest con I've ever been with it was this one. This is it's a 16-hour drive from where I'm from to get here. So yeah.
How did I was wondering this. Because I remember you saying you entered it, like they're breaking the doors and stuff. I also had another question I thought in my head. How did Big Lick reach out to you? Like how did that how does that go down?
Fun story.
How do conventions do that?
So whenever we first got started, our very first convention was just a local one in our backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple hundred people or a few thousand people passed through. It's not really a big, I don't think we made any money. We spent it all at the con anyway, so it didn't really matter. And we were next to Scott Ennis, who voices Scooby and Shaggy, and
That's
some of
awesome.
the some of the movies, some of the media that he's in. Super nice guy. He was like, "Hey, let me put you in contact with some of these other cons. That way we can get your con circuit kind of kicked off."
Oh, hell yeah.
And we ended up going to, I think it was Mississippi Comic Con was our second one, and he was next door. And we kind of followed him around a bit just because we were like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this now. Because this wasn't the original plan. I mean, I don't know. I just wanted a car. I didn't expect to be sitting in a car with,
People.
Yeah,
have you ever done something like this before? Like,
No.
Oh,
No.
oh, shit. Oh shit. That's awesome. First timer. Hell yeah.
But what we kind of got started with that. So for this one, Emily Swallow, our first signature, actually reached out to my wife on Instagram and because they wanted a baby at this con. And she asked us, she said, "Hey, we don't know if we're outside of your circle or not, but do you or somebody you know?"
I remember that because Emily, how do you say the last name?
Emily Swallow, yeah.
Jesus, I'm bad with names. I remember. So I actually I wanted to get her autograph. Went to a con that she was at. I didn't get it. And I like regretted it. So I was like, hell yeah, I get to get it. So actually, there's supposed to be a baby at this con I went to. It was Nightmare Weekend in Richmond last year.
Yeah.
And the car canceled. And I remember because she was talking about it, because I was asking her, and then she was like, yeah, she's like, I'm disappointed by it. She's like, I really want to do some like cool photos with it. And
Fun story.
Yeah, so
that was
hell
our
yeah.
car.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, that was
oh
our
shit.
Car, yeah.
Oh, I did not. God.
Yeah.
What happened? Why? What happened?
Something broke on it. I remember because we were like, okay, it's outside of our range. But
yeah, I didn't even see your expression.
Yeah, that's all I was just like.
While I was saying that,
yeah,
you're probably like, "Oh, that was shit. That was me."
That's usually the only reason. That's usually the only reason why we
Are
do.
you being kicked?
I don't think so.
Oh,
She'll come and tell me. She's not
Okay.
shy about that.
okay.
But that was actually the only time we've ever had to cancel on cons is if something does break.
Yeah,
in the
that's
car.
not even your fault. That's just
Right.
old
And so
cars.
I'm trying to think of what bigger.
Yeah,
we've
and
had,
the con was kind of a dickheadish about it because like I was asking because we didn't know, they didn't tell anybody to cancel. They didn't post about it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure it out. And my ex at the time, she was trying to talk to people, and the people were kind of dickheadish about it. There and like, if the car's not here, then it's not here. Leave. And I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. So
and I was like, what
the
the
time,
fuck?
They're usually pretty.
I
open
found
about,
out from Emily that it canceled. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that sucks. And now I get to meet it. So hell yeah.
So and the funny thing about that is that whenever we make these, commitments, I do because I'm the one that fixes the car.
Mhm.
We do everything we possibly can to make
So
it work.
altogether, how much money do you think you put into the car? Is that
That is actually a good question. All right, so I was telling y'all before, I paid $40,000 for the car. Okay, at the time it was a running driving
That's not bad.
machine. We got it home. I think anywhere between $10,000 and $15,000 have been put into it since. And that's kind of a low end estimate, mostly because of the fact that for every major repair we do, you can almost count it's going to be $1,000 or $2,000 depending on what it is.
Yeah.
So whenever the very first problem we had, our distributor went out. You're replacing a distributor. We ended up like doing a whole bunch of stuff. It was buying tools for it that I didn't have. Our most recent one was that might have been the time our power steering actually went out. We couldn't physically.
What, the one in Richmond?
Yeah, because we were having a lot of power steering issues. That was our second big repair. Was that one? Our power steering pump went out. And we were like, okay, well that's not a big deal. We'll just replace it. Well, whenever power steering pumps go out, they put basically debris into your gearbox, and that's what happened with ours. So it locked up our gearbox. So the steering wheel didn't want to work, and I don't know if y'all have ever driven a car. Probably have. It's really hard to get from point A to point B if you can't turn it.
Yeah, unless you can't pull a fucking Dean where you're just spinning the wheel.
at the time too, we didn't have a trailer, so we couldn't even physically bring it anywhere. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now we actually have a trailer, which is why we did have a problem with this one. Our alternator was giving us issues, so I did replace it. But we were going to be here no matter what because we actually had the trailer. Even if we had to push the thing in, we'd be able to do it. But thankfully, I just had to park in the parking lot and then drive straight in. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
And with like conventions and stuff that you're here, like it's also a question I was just thinking in my head. So the con like with making the money and stuff, does the con pay you, or do you make the money from the people that are buying the photos?
So
the photos with the car.
Most of the time, what ends up happening is that every con's a little different. Whenever we first started out, we had to pay our way in, just like any other vendor would. As we started gaining a little bit of like notoriety, I guess the best way to say it.
People started paying you, I'm guessing, right?
People started either reaching out to us because they wanted a replica of Baby there, Or we had other people at the conventions that are like, hey, come on. Usually what they do is they'll pay us, they'll pay for our hotel for the night because a lot of times we are out of town. So Big Lick was,
that's cool. They pay for your hotel.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
they'll cover hotel. We did usually we'll get reimbursed for gas and stuff like that if it's far. This one we didn't know how it was going to be, so we didn't actually ask that. But a lot of times there's daily minimums, like con minimums, where basically if you don't meet a certain threshold, they'll pay you the difference.
And then you were saying something about the trunk, like they didn't check your truck. Or
Yeah,
you say cons don't use your truck.
Yeah, so I have all sorts of crazy weapons and stuff in there, and a lot of them are real. Like we have machetes and knives and all this other stuff.
That Colt's real, right?
It was handmade by a lady in Brazil, believe it or
Oh,
not.
okay.
Yeah.
I got a Colt. That one closed, I'm assuming, right? Because I have one similar where it closes, it has the symbol on it.
Yeah. And we ended up getting a what is it? But like basically a whole lot of our stuff is actually real. Like they were sharp at one point, like the fillet knife.
And then
that's
your
on the lid.
your Angel Blade's metal too.
Yeah.
Where's that? Show that off.
It's kind of funny because you look at these things and you're like, wow, this actually has like a really.
I was
decent
showing
little
him
point
one at the house. Yeah, it's pointy as shit.
It's pointy, and my favorite part about it is the fact that nobody has ever given me any flack for having just a sharp ass object.
Yeah, I would have brought that with me because I have the same one. I would have brought that and carried around instead of my foam first blade, but I didn't want to bring it because I didn't know.
Yeah,
they didn't check any of our stuff. They're like, damn, I could have brought it.
Right, and that's so like our entire trunk. I think the entire time I've had this vehicle, nobody's ever checked it. They're just like, oh, cool. And I guess as long as nobody gets stabbed, hurt, or
yeah,
in any other way puts them at liability for something, they don't really care. So that's been kind of a fun little thing. But yeah, going back to how we got here, Emily Swallow was the one that asked us or reached out to my wife.
She asked you personally?
Yeah, she
reached
out
to us. That's fucking awesome.
So and
that's awesome.
So we were like, okay, I guess we have to at this point, I mean, like, and I told my wife too, it's outside of our radius. It cost us like $400 in gas to get here.
Dude, I'm so glad you were able to make it.
That's exactly it. We were like, we did miss out on the Richmond one, and we've.
Oh, dude, Richmond was busy as fuck. Like,
right.
It was busy. It was busy.
Usually those Horror Fest weekends and whatnot are.
The only day that was dead was like Sunday, but that was because it was like extra dead because there's a whole protest going on the roads. Like there's people like just.
Oh well, that'll do it.
Yeah, that would do it. Yeah.
But we ended up, like I said, we wanted to make it to at least one in Virginia because every single time we do a con, we learn something new. Whether it's stuff that that we'd like to offer people that
yeah, because I love the fact that you have stuff on the table.
Yeah.
Because like I was walking around because like my biggest thing was like. Because Big Lick was advertising the Supernatural reunion, baby, and stuff. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna have Supernatural stuff, and they don't. And your table did, and I was able to get some stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, and that was another thing too. I was telling you, we've been to so many cons, and so many of them don't have Supernatural stuff. Like you'll find little bitty knickknacks here or there, like maybe a pair of earrings with like
or like the badges.
Yeah,
you have one on too.
It's Special Agent Beyonce.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. Whenever you watch the show, they always have these fake badges. Okay, we do have some in the trunk.
Oh,
and generally what they do is they pick like some random like musician
as their name. Dean does that a lot. Yeah.
Or like a group of people. They'll be like, hi, Special Agent, Starsky. This is Special Agent Hutch.
Yeah.
Like
you would have seen that in the. Oh wait, no, they didn't do it in the first season.
I don't think they did it in the first season. But
they just walked to the cops and just lied their way through.
Right, wearing cheap suits. Like that's exactly what happens. But they typically pick one, and so whenever it was Castiel's turn to pick one, he was like, I'm Beyonce, and everybody's like, that what? Like, no, that doesn't really fly, But I mean, honestly, it's been pretty cool to have like, it's the entire reason we came here though, especially, like Emily Swallow was like, hey, you have, would y'all be able to come here? And we were like,
awesome,
yeah, we can do that.
Be like, you gotta feel royalty, like.
Oh yeah, and every single time we do it, we generally get a new signature out of it. So Emily signed it. Obviously, Ruth did.
So you didn't have any of those two? Those were brand new for you today.
Emily was our first one, but Ruth is new. So the big purple Ruth right there with all the hearts. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So
that's sweet.
Like I said,
who else do you need to get?
So.
And you said you don't have Padalecki, right?
Yeah, I don't have Padalecki, and we don't have Jensen. I have his autograph. We have his autograph on other things, but we do not have. Yeah, I see that.
So we gotta go.
Nope.
Was she just fucking with you?
Yeah, she was fucking with me. My wife loves doing that, by the way.
But yeah, so that's cool. This is your first ever like interview. I'm surprised people haven't. Like, I feel like it'd be cool as fuck to interview and ask how you got the car, how your maintenance it, like how much it costs. That's just. But also, how the hell you got it in? Like, that was like my first thought. Like, how the fuck did they get this in here?
And that's my favorite thing about it is that most people are like, oh yeah, y'all must do this, because of like the money or whatnot. Really and truly, I think me and my wife collectively.
No, I don't even feel like it because you guys come up with the prices, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that much. It's really great pricing.
We try and keep everything pretty reasonable, but the other thing about it too is that like, really and truly, everything we make from these things just goes back into the car anyway.
Yeah, and it's a lot of maintenance.
Exactly, it's like maintenance, like
and if you have to, like, because like you said, you drive sometimes with the car. Like if you have to drive back.
Yeah, and once again, like my sister and her boyfriend help us out. We pay them to be here because they are taking off time.
And your sister and your boyfriend, the one that are there, right?
Yes, nice. yes. But the entire thing about it is like we. Would I love to do this full time and like just leave the world of teeth behind? Sure, but that's just not feasible. Like
So I'm assuming you have another job.
Oh yeah,
that's cool as fuck. So like, I just want to ask, because that brings me my question. Do you get to flex that you have the fucking baby and you go to cons for that? That's gonna be a cool flex.
It's actually kind of funny whenever. So as a dentist, I always am trying to like.
Oh yeah, you said you were a dentist. What the fuck?
So, I'm always trying to like connect with people because like, dude, let's be real. Going to the dentist fucking sucks. Okay, it sucks. Okay, like nobody wants to do it. Everything we do sucks. I mean, it is kind of how it is. I had a great dentist growing up. I actually work with him right now.
I didn't. So and it also doesn't help that I don't know if you're familiar with the Dentist Horror movie. Yeah. So I got shown that when I was like 6.
You're like, it's cool. That's kind of.
I'm like, I don't want to go to dentist ever again.
Really well represented.
No, you're not. You're not.
Like it's like Garth being like, oh, he's a good dentist, But I mean, like, Ricky Gervais played a dentist in a movie called Ghost Town, it's like a little rom-com. It's pretty funny, but he's like a real dickhead up until the very end. And I'm like, oh, it doesn't make anybody want to go and see the dentist,
It doesn't. It does not.
It is kind of fun whenever I do have so I had a patient.
And then there's the what's that? The Tales from the Crypt. There's a short of that too. Yeah. It doesn't help you guys out.
Once again, we're never represented well in media, but one of the things that I thought was really cool is I had a patient who came in a couple weeks ago, and she was about 6 months sober, and her teeth showed that she had a substance abuse issue. And my favorite part about that was that
alcohol,
all sorts.
Shit.
Basically whatever. She was in a pretty bad spot for a while, and she had been clean for about 6 months, or she is still clean. She was for about 6 months though, and she was pretty nervous. She's like, "Look, this is like the last piece of my life that is still connected to that. If I can get my teeth right, then that's it. I've left that entirely behind at this point."
Damn.
And I was like, okay, well, that's pretty cool. But she was really nervous. And so I was telling her, actually, weirdly enough, about this con because it was coming up. And I was like, yeah, we're actually about to go to Virginia to, do all that. And she's like, oh, what for? And I was like, oh, well, it's going to sound really nerdy, but I actually have a 67 Impala. And she goes, baby? And I went, all right, cool.
So
point, that the appointment was one. Like, she immediately was like, oh, well, I don't know how you are as a dentist, but you're all right as far as pop culture goes. So, she was a little bit more receptive to everything, and it just made the appointment go a lot easier.
Like, when you can connect with someone like that, it's great. I got my hair cut. I got it to look like Sam's hair. That's why I did it. Originally I did it, the way I did it, I showed her the photo, because I had a photo of, like, his season 3 look. And she's like, oh, so we're going for like a season 3 Sam. I'm like, oh, Supernatural? And she's like, honey, I grew up with it. And she's like, I know. So we were talking about it, and like throughout the whole like haircut. So I was like, I got more comfortable. Like originally I was nervous because like I just feel comfortable just sitting in a chair, just cutting my hair.
And that was kind of like I said, kind of the I went back to I'm going back to how people just from everywhere are connected to it. She's a little bit younger than I am. And it was just kind of really cool to, like, oh, we're connecting on that, even though, so I showed her pictures on my phone of the car and, we kind of talked about it a bit. And immediately she was just like, all right, yeah, I think I can do this. And since then, she's been, like I said, a rock solid patient. We always talk about just whatever, Supernatural, I said, there's no barrier to entry there. Everybody can kind of get into it,
You
play, it makes it more fun, so.
You video game at all?
Oh, yeah.
Video game? So then I'm gonna let you ask some questions in, because you're the gamer. You know all the game stuff. That's all you.
So wait, what games have you played this year? I'll say.
All right. So I finally finished Cyberpunk 2077.
That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
That's
Um,
peak.
I played it for a long time, and then they had the big 2.0 update, and because everything got like
Yeah, revamped.
yeah, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just have to redo this. So I ended up starting it over and playing it again, and I finished it. Finished, the DLC. It was phenomenal.
Mm.
I last year I kept up with everything. So like I finished like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Not really a huge Indiana Jones guy, but it was still a good game.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was a good game. That wasn't. I like that.
It surprised me a good bit. Me and my buddies will of course play like Call of Duties and stuff like that, which
Yeah.
it's like he actually has depression pretty bad, and that's like the one thing that I can get him to get out of bed for. And so that's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty, but like for him, yeah, hell yeah, let's let's get.
I'm the same way. It's like COD. I like COD, but I feel like COD. I kind of just lost its personality.
Oh, it
sucks.
definitely has. It definitely has. Like
I will say I played a shit ton when they announced their Halloween when they brought like.
Just have to redo this. So I ended up starting it over and playing it again, and I finished it. Finished the DLC. It was phenomenal. I last year I kept up with everything. So like I finished like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Not really a huge Indiana Jones guy, but it was still a good game.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, that was a good game. That wasn't. I like that.
It surprised me a good bit. Me and my buddies will of course play like Call of Duties and stuff like that, which it's like he actually has depression pretty bad, and that's like the one thing that I can get him to get out of bed for. And so that's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan of Call of Duty, but like for him, yeah, hell yeah, let's get.
I'm the same way. It's like COD. I like COD, but I feel like COD. I kind of just lost its personality.
Oh, it
definitely
has. It definitely has. Like
I will say I played a shit ton when they announced their Halloween when they brought like. Cause I love Terrifier. I'm actually. I don't know if if it will show here. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm signed by him.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I got tattooed.
I was gonna say I did see the back of your phone too.
Yeah.
Case,
I love Art the Clown. So it was like Art the Clown got dropped and it brought me back to COD. So.
Yeah. And it was funny too because they just had an event in.
You talking about the one with Jason?
Yeah, they had that. They also just had one, which is funny. It involved RoboCop. So.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I saw that. Yeah, I saw the advertising. Did you play the game? Rogue City.
Yeah, Rogue City was actually great.
I never got around to playing that. I really, really want to.
It's one of those things that, it's not like I said, it's not like super polished or anything like that, but for like a AA game where you get to like feel like RoboCop, like he feels really heavy. He like, every step feels like you're like an 800-pound machine. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And, of course, like, I don't know. It's like the closest I've seen to anything actually getting a feel for RoboCop without just, I guess being Peter Weller and being kind of